Today I'll be talking about self-discipline, the benefits of learning how to be a disciplined person, how to master the skill, and pretty much how it's going to change your life completely around. Because any area that you put discipline in of your life, whether that be finances, whether that be when you're working out, when you have a certain goal, things that you're going to tell yourself to do, every area that you add discipline to, your life will significantly improve, and it's going to completely change your life and change the way you view things as well. See, so a lot of people, when they think that discipline is going to change their life, don't think of it as a little goofy way where, okay, you have discipline and then bam, you have a six-pack, or oh, you have discipline, it changes your life completely, and then bam, you're a millionaire out of nowhere. No, that's not how discipline works. Discipline works in different ways. So I'm going to go ahead and explain to you why you need to learn how to have discipline, why you need to master that skill and make it a part of your life and implement it in as many areas in your life as you can possibly. The only thing you have control of in this life is your own mind. You have no control over the weather, no control over the economy, no control over the government. You have no control over your own job. Pretty much all the factors around life are very random. They go on their own. You have no control over anything. The one thing you do have control over is your mind for the most part. Some people don't even have control over that. So the only thing you truly have 100% control over is your mind, which is why you need to learn to be self-disciplined, because if you're not disciplined, you're pretty much you don't even control your own mind. Your mind controls you and it tells you what to do. Being disciplined is basically the act of having control over your own body and mind, so it's good to be disciplined in the body and in the mind, and it's the only real control you have over your life. Discipline is going to get you a lot farther in anything it is you want to accomplish. So let's say that you have a goal, right? Your goal is to lose, 20 pounds, right? You have to set certain goals to reach that certain goal, and you have to complete those goals regardless of how you feel, right? Because, some days you're not going to want to work out, you're not going to want to diet, you're not going to want to do what it is you have to do to lose that weight. So if you aren't disciplined and you just rely on motivation alone, some days you'll be able to do that, and then some days you won't, giving you choppy results, right? Now, the person who is disciplined, regardless of how he feels, he will be doing what he has to do regardless of how it is he feels at the moment. And in the end, when you compare both of the people, one is going to get the results and one isn't. So the benefits of actually being a disciplined person are you're going to get results a lot faster, you're going to get more accurate results, and you're going to get more of what you want out of life. And people always say like, okay, well, Israel, I don't feel like doing this today. I don't feel like doing this today, Logan. I don't feel like training today. I don't feel like working today. I don't feel like that. And the truth is, for the majority of the time, fuck your feelings, disregard your feelings. Now, not always. It's important to keep your feelings in check and know you're, mentally stable and all that. But for the majority of time, who cares how you feel? At the end of the day, you still have to go to work. You still have to, if you really want your goals, you still have to hit those goals. It doesn't matter how you feel, because at the end of the day, there's somebody out there who also wants the exact same things you want, but they have the discipline to do it, and they'll do whatever it is it takes to get their goals, regardless of how they feel that day, whether they're happy, sad, mad, excited, or motivated. They're going to get the job done regardless. So it's always better to have that kind of attitude, that kind of mentality, and that kind of discipline to go ahead and actually accomplish whatever it is you said you were going to do, and do it. Now, on top of all that, right, just by having discipline in every area of your life, or in majority of the areas in your life, you're going to start building a better, your mental health is going to improve, and you're going to start building confidence, because you're going to know that you are a person. When you say you're going to do something, you go out and you do it. Regardless of what anyone thinks, what anyone cares, and regardless of any circumstance, if you say you're going to do something, your word is iron, and you're going to go ahead and do that. That's going to improve your mental health a lot and give you that confidence, because you're someone that says what they're going to do, and it gives you the confidence to go out and do anything you want to do, because if you put your mind to it, you have the motivation, discipline to go ahead and actually accomplish that goal, and it's just going to build up on your confidence, and you're going to go around just around life feeling a lot better and a lot more confident. So that's an added bonus of having discipline. Now, also, when you have discipline, you're going to be able to crush your competition, because not everyone is as disciplined as you will eventually be, right? Not everyone's as disciplined. Most people don't even really understand what discipline is, or they just go based off motivation, which is not ideal to do, right? So let's give you an example, right? let's say you have two teams, right? They have to build towers. Two construction companies that have to build towers. Now, let's say that one construction team, right? They only build a tower whenever they feel motivated and whenever they feel like they can do it. Now, the other construction team just does it regardless, whether it's raining, whether it's sunny, whether it's hot outside, whether they feel good or feel bad. They go and they build the fucking building every single day, right? At the end of whenever they have to build that, one team is only going to have like a semi little built building, while the team that shows up every day is going to have like a nice ass building, and they'll get whatever, the job done or whatever, right? Just an example. So it's pretty much the same thing with your life. If you have the discipline, you'll eventually start to, in every single area of your life, you're going to start to progress the way you want to. But if you only go based off when you feel like doing it or when you have the motivation to do it, you're going to have choppy ass results. So that's just one thing to keep in mind as well. You always want to have discipline over the motivation. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of people, when they want to make a goal, right, they usually go off based off their feelings and the amount of motivation they have. So you'll hear people be like, yep, that's it, guys, I'm going back to the gym, I'm losing 20 pounds. Or, yeah, guys, don't worry, I'm going, this is the year, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing this, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do that. And then usually, like, especially in like New Year's and stuff, you'll see that people, like, they quit whatever they said they were gonna do after like 2 weeks because they were just going off pure motivation. Now, discipline is what's gonna get you a lot farther in life now, because it is good to be motivated. It does give you a little bit of an edge, but discipline is what's going to carry out once that motivation is gone. It's going to carry out and pretty much hold you. So let's say that your goal is to put on 20 pounds of muscle. You're going to do whatever it takes to go ahead and get those 20 pounds of muscle. At first, it's going to be just motivation. Now, once that motivation finishes, because it will run out, you're going to have the discipline take over. And once that discipline takes over, you're not going to want to do it, but you're going to do it anyways because you said you were going to do it. So you're going to go ahead and, start building that muscle just like how you said you were. You're going to go to the gym even though you don't feel like it. Then that's going to carry on until eventually the motivation returns. And it's just like a nice little smooth cycle where you end up having a lot more work done and a lot more of your goals fulfilled because you have that discipline to actually stick through it even when the motivation is gone. So that's going to give you a little extra edge. All these little things, all these little wins that you have because you're a disciplined person, right? Once you become a disciplined person in every area of your life, these little wins start to compound. At first, you're not going to notice it, right? You're going to see a little win here, a little win there. You're not going to eat that cake. You're not going to, skip that workout. You're not going to spend, you're going to go invest that extra money. You're going to read that extra book, whatever, right? Whatever your goal is. You're not going to see the big wins at first, but then those small wins will slowly start to compound and it'll be a snowball effect. Like when the little fucking snowball, rolls down the mountain and eventually it turns into a huge snowball. It's going to be the same thing with these little wins. Eventually these little wins are going to add up to big wins, and over time they'll compound, and it gets easier the more you do it because it's a skill, right? So the more you practice self-discipline and, focusing on your goals and truly committing to what you said you're going to do, the more it's going to just get better and better and better. And it's just going to start getting easier for you to do it. And your goals and wins are going to start to compound exponentially. Top of all that, to quickly finish it, it's going to take you from being average to above average. That's really what gets a lot of the high earners, high performers. It really is just that little last bit of discipline. It's always that little last like 2 to 3% that you do. Even with like, I've seen a lot of things like with athletes, it's like the last little bit that they do. For example, me, I work in sales. I have to go every day and I have to get a certain amount of calls, certain amount of quotes, so that at the end of the month I can get a certain amount of closes because I want to make, more money on my paycheck at the end of the week. I want to close more business. So if I don't do exactly what I have to do every single day, I'm not going to get those goals. Now I go in every day and I make sure I give it my all, because at the end of the day, I need to be disciplined regardless of how I feel when I go in the office, whether I'm tired, whether I'm sad, whether I'm mad, etc. It doesn't matter, right? I go in and I try my very best to get those numbers. So keep that in mind. If I can do it, you can do it too. do it in every single aspect, learn to be more disciplined. And look, it's not going to be super easy at first. It's going to be hard, just like everything else, but it's a skill set. You're going to eventually build it up, and don't take it so harsh if you're not that good at first. Eventually you will start to develop discipline. Even myself, I struggle a lot with discipline sometimes. Here and there's some, subjects I'm better at discipline than others. So it's just something for you guys to keep in mind. But yeah, it's going to take you from being average to above average, and it's just going to keep compounding. So it's something super useful and beneficial for you to use. I wish you the very best. If I can do it, you can fucking do it too. I believe in you 100%.